welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine, and in today's tutorial I am going to guide you on how to make the dress that you saw in the beginning of the video. For the material, I am going to use this yarn. It's called Yeye yarn. It's 100% acrylic and it is made in Nigeria. And then I am going to use two hook sizes. I'm going to use a 3.5 for the bra cups, and then to make the ruffle a little extra I am going to use a 4.5mm hook for the ruffle areas. Okay, so as I said earlier, the yarn is very thin, so I am going to double the strands so that it can give me something that is close to a size 3 yarn. All right, so let's get started on the bra cups. To get started with the bra cups, we are going to make a slip knot like so. Then using a 3.5mm hook, we are going to make chains that goes from our underbust to our nipple area. If you do not know how long your chains should be, I am going to write on the screen the different chain length for different sizes, okay? But I am making a size small, so I will make my chains 3 inches long. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I have 15 chains and it measures about 3 inches. Okay, when you're done with your chains, you're going to work a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, place a single crochet in that chain, and then you are going to continue working a single crochet in each of the chains across like that until you have 1 chain left. Okay, so continue that until you have 1 chain left. All right, so this is what you should have. I have 1 chain left, so in this last chain we are going to work 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Now that we've had our 5 single crochet, we are going to mark the middle stitch. The middle stitch is the 3rd stitch of the 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3. Place a stitch marker right there. Okay, when you're done with that, come back over here. We are going to work 1 single crochet in the back right here of each of the stitches. So place 1 single crochet in the back of the first stitch like so, and continue to place 1 single crochet in the back of each of the stitches across. Okay, like this. So you're gonna continue that all the way until the end. All right, my loves, this is how your work should look like. All right, so for row 2 we are going to start with chain 1. So chain 1 and turn. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Place a single crochet in the very first stitch, and then place a single crochet in each of the stitches across until you get to the last stitch before the stitch marker, like so. So continue until you get to this last stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so this is what you should have. When you get here, you're going to take out the stitch marker, and place 3 single crochet in that stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now we are going to replace the stitch marker in the second stitch of the 3 single crochet. Remember, this is our middle stitch, so we have to keep track in order not to miss it, okay? So place a stitch marker right there. And then continue to work 1 single crochet in each of the remaining stitches until you get to the last stitch at the bottom. Like so. So continue that until you get to this last stitch. Alright, so this is what I have. Just to finish up the row with you, I have 1 stitch left, so I'm going to work a single crochet in that last stitch. Please make sure you don't miss the last stitch, okay? Now we are going to work row 3. Row 3 and the subsequent rows will be a repeat of row 2, okay? So chain 1 and turn your work. Place a single crochet in the first stitch. Place a single crochet in each of the stitches across until you get to the last stitch before your stitch marker. Okay, so continue this until you get to this last stitch before your stitch marker. All right, this is what your work should look like. Now that we are here, we are going to take off the stitch marker and place 3 single crochet in that stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then be sure to replace the stitch marker in the second stitch of the 3 single crochet. And then continue to place 1 single crochet in the remaining stitches down, like so. Continue that until you get to your very last stitch. Alright, my loves, this is what your work should look like. So henceforth, you are going to repeat row 2 or row 3. It's the same thing, okay? So repeat this row continuously until you get your desired bust coverage, okay? If you're making this for someone and you don't know how many rows to make, I will put a size chart somewhere, maybe in the next slide or in the description section below. I will let you know how wide your bra cup should be for different sizes, okay? All right, my loves, so I have my desired bra cup coverage. I worked a total of 14 rows for a size small or a B cup, and from side to side it measures about 6.5. Well, it's 6.25. So when you have your desired bra cup coverage, you are going to turn and work. We are going to work across the base of the bra cup using the same size hook. Turn and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 acts as the first double crochet. Then we are going to work 1 double crochet in each of the single crochet spaces. Right here, see here, right here, and then right here, right here, right here. So we are going to place 1 double crochet in each of the spaces. Place a double crochet. In the next space, which is here, place a double crochet. In the next space right here, place a double crochet, and just continue that all the way until the last space. Like that. Okay, so place double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. Continue that all the way until you get to this very last space. All right, my loves, so I have placed one double crochet in each of the single crochet spaces, and this is what your work should look like. I have one space left, so we are going to place one double crochet in that last space. It almost looks like we are going into the stitch. I guess we are. So place one double crochet in that last space. In total, I have 28 stitches. In order to know how many stitches you should have at the end of this row, all you have to do is multiply the total number of rows for your bracket times 2. I made 14 rows for my bracket. 14 times 2 is 28, so I have 28 stitches. Okay? To work row 2 of your base, you're going to start off with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. This chain 4 counts as double crochet chain 1. After that, skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch you are going to place a double crochet like so. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and in the next one place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, in the next stitch place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, in the next stitch place a double crochet. You are going to continue this until you have 1 stitch left. This is it. This is what your work should look like. And as I said, you will have 1 stitch left. So chain 1 and double crochet in that last stitch. All right, row 2 of base is done. For row 3, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. We are going to place a double crochet in that very first stitch. So double crochet like so. Chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. And you're going to continue chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Continue that all the way across until you have 1 stitch left. Here we are. This is what your work should look like. And now we have 1 stitch left. So chain 1, chain 1. In that last stitch, we are going to work a V-stitch. What is a V-stitch? A V-stitch is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same stitch. Okay? So chain 1, then place a double crochet in that stitch. Then chain 1, place another double crochet in the same stitch. Like so. Okay? So this is what we have. For row 4, we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. Place a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, 1. Place a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, place a double crochet in the next stitch like so. So you are going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Continue that all the way across until you have this last stitch left. Okay? All right, so this is what we have. And as I said, you should have 1 stitch left. In this last stitch, we are going to work a V-stitch. So chain 1, place a double crochet in the last stitch and then chain 1, place another double crochet in that last stitch, like that. Okay, so we are done with our base for now. So when you have all this, all you have to do is chain 1 and fasten off. So at this point, we are done with the first bracket. All you have to do is repeat everything that you did here. Do the same thing for the second bracket. But the only difference will be that you will stop at the third row for the second bracket, and then I will show you how to work the fourth row for the second bracket. Okay? Alright, my love, so I am done with my second bracket. Okay, and I worked 1, 2, 3 rows for the base. Now let's work the fourth row together. To work your fourth row, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Place a double crochet in this very first stitch. So double crochet right there, and then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, like so. Okay, so you are going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Continue that all the way until you get to the very end of the stitch. Okay, so I have worked all my stitches and I have 1 stitch left, so just chain 1 excuse me, and double crochet in that last stitch, like so. Okay, so now that we've gotten here, what we're gonna do next is join the second bracket to the first bracket. Okay, so this is the first bracket, right? This is the fourth row. This was our beginning chain 4 for the fourth row. Okay, so when you're done with the fourth row of your second bracket, chain 1, like so, and then pick up your first bracket and hold it so that you can locate the beginning chain 4 of the fourth row. Okay, this is the fourth row, the beginning chain 4. So here we did chain 1. Now we are going to slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 4 of the first bracket. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that chain right here, like so, and then you chain 1 and you fasten off. Okay, pull tight. So this is what we have. This is our second bracket and this is our first bracket. Okay, now to continue our base, we are going to attach a new yarn, well, the same yarn. We are going to attach it right here in the third chain of the beginning chain 4 of the second bracket. To start off row 5, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then double crochet in that very first stitch, like so, then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. So you are going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Repeat that all the way across until you get to the last stitch of your first bra cup. So the last stitch before the chain 1 joining both the bra cups, you're going to stop right there. Okay? All right, so here it is. This is what your work should look like. And this is the chain 1 connecting the bra cups. So when you've gotten here, you're going to chain 1 and place it right here in the space. You can poke it into the chain 1 if you can. Let me try. You can poke it into, oh yes. So poke it into that chain 1 connecting the bra cups and make a double crochet just like that. Perfect. And then chain 1, double crochet in the first stitch of the second bra cup here, like that, and then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, like this. Okay, so you're going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, all the way across until you have one stitch left, which is this last stitch. Okay, here it is, and I have one stitch left. So in this last stitch we are going to work a V stitch. Okay, so chain 1, double crochet in that last stitch, chain 1, double crochet in that last stitch again, like so. All right, so for row 6 we are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn, double crochet in the very first stitch, like so, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and you are going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Repeat that all the way across until you have one stitch left. All right, so this is what your work should look like so. And in the last stitch, as I said, we are going to work a V stitch. So chain 1, place a double crochet in the last stitch. Oh, hold on. Like so, and then chain 1, place another double crochet in that last stitch. There you go. So row 6 is done. Okay, so at this point we are going to switch over to a 4.5 and get ready to work the skirt section. But first we need to make chains that is long enough to go around the back. So for your, this is for the front, you need enough chains to cover the back area, join it over here, and then work the skirt section. Do you get my point? Okay, so if you're making for yourself, you just have to put this on your body and make enough chains to cover your back area and then join it over here. But if you're making this for someone else and you don't know how many chains to make, this is what I do. Okay, so I either ask for the belly size. I either ask for belly size or hip size. Excuse the handwriting, I promise it looks better than this. So you either use the belly size or the hip size, whichever is bigger. Okay, so I am going to use, let's say I'm going to use the hip size. My hip size, I'm making this for myself, but let's just pretend that I am someone else. I'm going to use my hip size. My hip size is 36 inches. Okay, So I am going to subtract 7 inches from this 36, because if I am to use the whole hip size, the chains will be too long. We don't want that, okay? So I am going to subtract 7 inches from 36. 7 minus 36 is what? I think that's 29. So 36 minus 7 equal 29 inch, okay? So we need 29 inch. If you use the belly size, take the belly size, subtract 7 inches from it, and then get the number, okay? So this number is 29. Next, what you're gonna do is take your measuring tape and lay your work exactly like this. Ooh. Okay, lay your work exactly like this, and we are going to measure across this last row. We are going to measure to figure out the width, okay? So measure across like this. Mine is about 16 inches, as you can see, 16 inches, okay? Come back to your notebook. So width is 16 inches, okay? In order to know how many chains to make, we are going to subtract 16 from 29. So 29 minus 16 equal 13 inches. So what does that mean? That means that I am going to make chains that stretches to 13 inches. I hope this is not confusing. If you feel confused, go back, rewind, and watch this again, okay? So for myself, I'm going to make these chains for the back area 13 inches. So let's go. So to continue from where we stopped, as I said earlier, for the ruffle section, I am going to switch to a bigger hook size. So I'll take out the 3.5 and I will bring in the 4.5 millimeter hook. Okay, so now we are going to make chains for the back area. So make enough chains for you. For me, remember my number was 13 inches. So I am going to make chains that stretches to 13 inches. And no matter how long your chains are, you have to make sure that the total number is an odd number. So that way we are able to still work the mesh pattern around, okay? So I am going to make chains that stretches to 13 inches and I'll be right back. Alright my love, so I have my total chains. I have 55 chains and it stretches easily to 13 inches. Okay, easily. You don't want it to overstretch. Don't pull your yarn too much, just a gentle tug, okay? And remember, I said that the total number of chains must be an odd number, and 55 is an odd number. When you have your total number of chains, you're going to bring it over and we are going to connect it right here. So bring this over like this. Make sure your work is not twisted and bring it to the beginning chain 4 of the last row. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 4. Woo. Yeah, there you go, like that. Okay, so now we can start working the skirt area. To start off row 7, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and you are going to repeat chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Repeat that all the way across until you get to the last stitch before your chains, okay? So I have worked until I got to the last stitch, and this is what my work looks like. Okay, so when you've gotten to the last stitch, we are going to chain 1, 1, skip the first chain and double crochet in the next chain, like so. Then chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet in the next chain, then chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet in the next chain, like that. So you are going to repeat chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet in the next chain, chain 1, skip 1 chain, double crochet in the next chain. Repeat that all the way across until you have 1 chain left. Alright my love, so I have 1 chain left and this is what your work should look like. Okay, so when you've gotten here, chain 1, skip the last chain and slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch right there. Okay, so this row is done. So now that we are done with this row, for the next row we have to prepare to work the ruffles. Okay, so for my ruffles, I do not want my ruffles to be too much. I want it nice and subtle. So I am going to place ruffles in every 10th stitch. Okay, so that means I'm going to work a single stitch, a single stitch, a single stitch, and then when I get to the 10th stitch, I am going to work plenty stitches to get the ruffles. Do you understand? So since I'm placing ruffles in every 10th stitch, that means that the total number of stitches I have on this row must be in multiples of 10. Okay? So go ahead, count out all the stitches you have on this row. On this last row, count it out and then write it down. Let me count mine. So starting from the very first chain 4 or chain 3, we are going to start counting from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count all the way around until you get to the last stitch. Alright, so I have counted my stitches and I have 68 stitches in total. So remember, I said that our total stitches must be in multiples of 10 before we can work the ruffles. Now 68 is not a multiple of 10. What is the closest multiple of 10? If you add 2 to this, it will give you 70, right? 68 plus 2 equals 70. 70 is a multiple of 10. So what does that mean? That means that as I work my next row of mesh, I am going to increase by 2 stitches, okay? I'm going to increase by 2 stitches to give me 70. Now let's say you have something like 53. Let's say you have 53. The closest multiple of 10 to 53 is either 50 or 60, right? Okay, so this is a multiple, this is a multiple. You have to decide if you want to subtract 3 inches in the next row to give you 50, or you want to add 7 inches in the, sorry. That's not what I meant. So let's say you have 53 stitches total, right? You have to decide if you want to subtract 3 stitches in the next row to give you 50, or you want to add 7 stitches in the next row to give you 60. Okay, that's up to you. But for me, I am going to add. I would just say you should add with me because I'm adding. So let's just add, okay? Everyone needs to add. Okay, so let's say you have 53. You're going to add 7 because 53 plus 7 will give you 60. Okay, so I hope that you get the math. So let's say after you had counted your stitches, you have a multiple of 10. You're lucky enough to have a multiple of 10. That means you do not need to add anything. Okay, all right, so now that you've gotten the math, let's work our next row. Alright, so for row 8, you're going to start off with chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet in the next stitch. chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, like so. So if your previous row had a multiple of 10, all you have to do is work chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and continue that all the way around until you get to this last stitch. When you get here, you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 4, and you are done. Okay, but for those of us who have to add stitches to give us the multiples of 10, I have to add 2 stitches. Whatever it is you have to add, you have to note it down, but for me I have to add 2 stitches. So what I'm gonna do is, when I have this, I have 1 2 3 4 stitches for now. In the next stitch I am going to increase by 1, so chain 1 and place a V stitch in the next stitch. How do you work a V stitch? You place a double crochet in that stitch, chain 1, double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, so now we have 1 extra stitch added to our row. Okay, remember I need to increase by 2, so this is the first increase. I'm gonna chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. So I have 4 stitches after the first increase. This is the increase, and I have 1 2 3 4. So now I am going to work my second increase. So chain 1 and place a V stitch in the next stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, like that. So now I have 2 increases, 1 2. Remember I had to increase by 2, so I am not going to increase again. But if you have to make more increases, all you have to do is work chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet until you have 1 2 3 4 4 in total, and then in the next stitch you work V stitch. Continue to increase by working a V stitch until you have the total number of stitches that you needed to increase by. So if you needed to increase by 7, you should have 7 V stitches. If you needed to increase by 4, you should have 4 V stitches. Okay, so when you're done increasing, all you have to do is chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and repeat that chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all the way around until you get to your last stitch. All right, so here we are, and this is our work so far. Okay, so when you've gotten to your last stitch, chain 1 and slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain 4. And now for the next row we are going to work our ruffles. Okay, so to work the ruffles, this is row 9. Okay, the next row is row 9. To work row 9, slip stitch in the first chain 1 space, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5. This chain 5 counts as treble crochet chain 1. Okay, in the next space we are going to work a treble crochet, so wrap around 2 times like that, insert your hook in the space, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through last 2. That's a treble crochet. Then chain 1, work a treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, work a treble crochet in the next space. So you're going to repeat chain 1 treble crochet in the next space, chain 1 treble crochet in the next space until you have 9 stitches in total. That 9 includes the beginning chain 5. Okay, so this is 1 2 3 4. I'm going to repeat that all the way across until I have 9 in total. Alright, so I have 9 stitches in total. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now in the next space we are going to work our ruffle. So chain 1, place a treble crochet in the next space. Okay, that's 1. We are going to put 9 total of stitches. 9 stitches in total. So that's 1. So chain 1, place another treble crochet in that same stitch. That's 2. Chain 1, place another treble crochet in that stitch. That's 3. Chain 1, treble crochet in that same stitch. That is 4. So continue that until you have 9. So I have 9 stitches in total. Let's count together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so that's the first ruffle. Now we are going to work single just 1 stitches in each of the spaces until we get a total of 9, just like this. Okay, so let's do that. Chain 1 1 and treble crochet in the next space, in the space here. Okay, that's 1. Chain 1, treble crochet in the next space. That's 2. Chain 1, treble crochet in the next space. That is 3. 1 2 3. So you're going to repeat chain 1, treble crochet in the next space until you have 9 stitches in total. Okay, alright, so I have my 9 stitches. Let's count together. So this is the ruffle. Okay, don't mix up. This is the ruffle where it stops, and now we are going to count the single stitches. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So that's 9 stitches in total. Now we are going to work the ruffles again. So chain 1, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in that same space. That's 2. Chain 1, treble crochet in that same space. That's 3. So you're going to repeat chain 1, treble crochet in that same space, chain 1, treble crochet in that same space. Continue that until you have 9 stitches in total. Alright, so I have 9 stitches. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 9 stitches, all separated by chain 1 spaces. Okay, so I am thinking that you've gotten the gist of the matter at this point. So all you have to repeat henceforth is when you've gotten your ruffles, you're going to start all over. Okay, so chain 1, sorry, you're going to chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, until you get 9 stitches in total. And then in the following space, you're going to chain 1 treble crochet, chain 1 treble crochet, all in the same space until you have 9 stitches in total for the ruffles. You get the point, right? Okay, so repeat that all the way across until you get here. Okay, until you have 1 space left. Okay. All right, my love, so here we are. I have 1 space left, but before we continue, I have to show you what your work should look like. So here we are, 9 stitches, ruffle, yeah? 9 stitches, ruffle, 9 stitches, ruffles, just like that, all the way around, okay? So when you've gotten to your second to last space, you're going to chain 1, chain 1, and then in the last space we are going to work our last ruffle. Okay, so work a treble crochet in the last space, chain 1, treble crochet in the same space, chain 1, treble crochet in the same space. So just repeat chain 1, treble crochet in the same space, chain 1, treble crochet in the same space until you have 9 stitches in total. Here we are, I have my last ruffle done. So when you're done with your last ruffle, you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch in the 4th chain of the beginning chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch in that 4th chain. Alright, row 1 of ruffle is done. Okay, so henceforth it's pretty simple. It's going to be repetitive, okay? So chain 1 and turn your work. Slip stitch in the very first chain 1 space, and then to start off the next row, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treble crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space. Okay, just like so. So you're going to repeat chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space. Repeat that all the way around. So just work your stitches into all the spaces, okay? Repeat that all the way around until you get to your very last space. All right, my love, so here we are. I am at the last space, and this is what your work should look like. Okay, so when you're done with your last stitch, you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch in the 4th chain of the beginning chain 5, like so. So from here onwards, we are going to repeat this row until we get to our desired dress length. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Just chain 1, turn your work, slip stitch in the first space, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, okay, continue that, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space. Continue that all the way around until you get to your last space. Okay, all right, so here I am at my last space. So after your last stitch, you're going to chain 1 and slip stitch in the 4th chain of the beginning chain 5. Okay, so you are going to repeat this row continuously until you get to your desired skirt length. For the sake of the video, I am not going to work this dress any longer. Listen, I am tired. So let's just assume that this is my last row, right? I have worked my dress to my desired length and this is my last row. All I have to do is chain one and fasten off. Okay, fasten off like that. There you go. Alright darlings, so to work your straps, right, you're going to come here to the middle stitch, which is the stitch that you have the stitch marker. And also I switched back to a 3.5mm hook. It's not really necessary, but that's what I choose to do. Okay, so come to the middle of your stitch. So to do that, you are going to attach your yarn in the stitch just before the middle strap, before the middle stitch. So the stitch on your right hand side, right here, attach your yarn right there. Like so, okay? And then you're going to make enough chains for your necktie. I like to make 100 chains, so I'm going to make 100 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have my 100 chains. When you have your total number of chains, you're going to slip stitch, you are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. 1, 2, single crochet in that chain and single crochet in every chain across until you get to the very last chain. Okay, like that. Continue that all the way across until you get to the last chain. So here we are. Okay, I have done all my single crochet and this is what it looks like. When you're done with your last single crochet, you're going to take out the stitch marker. Okay, skip the middle stitch and then slip stitch in the next stitch like that, and then chain one and fasten off. Ooh. All right, here we are. That's it. Okay, so this is your strap. Now you are going to repeat the same thing for the second strap. Attach your yarn right here, make your chain, single crochet back, skip this and then slip stitch in the next one and fasten off. Okay, so when you're done with your strap, we are going to work our back tie. So we are just going to make a long enough chains to connect the bra cups right here and then tie at the back. So I am not going to make any chains right now, but I did make this dress in a pink color, so I am going to use the strap for that one. I think this is the one. So yeah, just make enough chains like this and then fasten off. I made 200 chains. Okay, so when you have your chains, you're going to bring your first bra cup like this and go to row 1 of base right here. Okay, so skip the first stitch, put your hook, skip the first stitch, put your hook under 2 stitches like this. You could do 3 stitches if you want, okay, and then pull through one end of the tie like that. Skip 2, go under the next 2, pull through the same end of the tie. Like that. Skip 2, go under the next 2, pull through the same end of the tie. And you're gonna repeat this all the way across until you get to the last stitch. Okay, so here we are and this is what it looks like. Okay, So now we still have the same end, right? We are going to use that same end to connect over here to the second bra cup. So bring your hook and skip the first stitch just like you did for the first bra cup. Skip the first stitch, go under the next 2 stitches and pull through the same end of the tie. Okay, skip 2, go under 2, pull through the same end of the tie. Okay, so you're going to repeat this all the way across until you get to your last stitch. All right, so here we are. When you're done, all you have to do is adjust your tie. Okay, adjust your tie and just make it long enough to tie at the back and you're good to go. All right. All right, so the last thing we have to do is work our waist tie. Okay, so to work the waist tie, we are going to locate row 7. Okay, so row 7, starting from the row 1 of base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is row 7. Yes, and then you're going to locate the middle stitch in front of row 7. So it's easy. I located mine already and I placed a stitch marker. To be able to locate yours, remember the chain 1 that we did to connect the bra cups together, and then we had placed a double crochet in that chain 1. So that is the middle stitch. So just trace it down until row 7. So here it is. Place a stitch marker in it. Okay, and then for your waist tie, for my waist tie, I made 250 chains. Okay, you can make however much you want to make. Now take one end of the waist tie, just like we did for the back tie. Take one end, skip that middle stitch, place your hook under the next 2 stitches and pull through one end of the tie. Skip 2 stitches, go under the next 2, pull through the same end of the tie. So you're going to repeat that all the way around. So go all the way around and then continue at the back. Okay, all the way around until you resurface in front. All right, so I worked my tie all the way around. Okay, and this is the middle stitch, but I am over here and I have 1 stitch left. Okay, so my goal is to be here. I am just gonna go under this last stitch and pull through the same end. There you go. Take out that stitch marker and here we go. So all you have to do is when you dress up, you just tie this and we are done. Oh my god. Okay, hold on, let me bring the pink one so you can see what it looks like. All right, my love, so this is what the pink one looks like. Okay, it has no ties because I had to take out the ties to work the lilac one. Okay. So but this is it. It's so pretty. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. If this tutorial was helpful, please let me know in the comment section. I want to see all your praises. I want you to praise me, baby, ginger me up. Thank you so much for watching, my loves.